You'll find that even movies that you've seen many times can suddenly change. And something you don't remember being there will suddenly show up. Now, I was watching the Doors movie here recently. Now, I'm deflecting most of the time when I watch. I'm not letting them in. I'm not letting them hypnotize me with the camera movements. But the ending scene here is when Jim Morrison is dead and his wife discovers him. So it's supposed to be emotional, and they feed off the viewer's emotions. Through the hypnosis they're using, it opens you up, and they can feel through you while you're getting emotional. Watch.
I knew it was you, Jim Morrison. I always know when it's you.
Now, they want the viewer to be emotional because he's dead. And she wants you to be emotional.
Get out of the tub. Come on, Mom will dry you off.
Now watch what happens here.
Stop joking around now. You hear me? Just cut it out.
Now see that? Look at that back there. Now, if you weren't hypnotized by her sliding down there, I'm pausing it so I can snap you out of it, if you were. She's trying to hypnotize the viewer so that she can feel the emotion you're feeling about the death and her discovering it. And there's a brush back there that's moving back and forth, back and forth. It's traditional hypnosis. It's very simple stuff. And when you begin to realize what's happening, you'll start to notice this all the time. And it's meant to hypnotize you so they can jump into you, into your field, while you're watching, so they can experience the emotion you're feeling. Watch it go back and forth. Don't watch it too closely. Just watch it peripherally. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's hypnosis, traditional hypnosis. Don't look at it. Goes and goes and goes. But I won't look at it while I'm watching because I know what they're doing. So they're not able to feel anything through me. Back and forth. Look, it just keeps going. It's magic. It's not a camera trick. It's not meant to influence the scene or the artistry of the scene. It's meant for hypnosis only.
Just like you said you would.
Back and forth, back and forth. Don't look at it. I've discovered from listening to enough code that a house or a home is the heart. The home is where the heart is. It represents the house or the home. And they use it as code. Watch what happens here. I turn the channel.
Myself.
I went to the doctor today.
Yeah.
And the baby already is 7 pounds, which is like unheard of. It's supposed to be 4.
Super baby.
Like really healthy. Just like a big baby.
Why is your house not ready still? What's going on? What are you going to do? What about the other house? Why don't you guys move in there temporarily? Like what's...
Like we're going to be showing the house. So it's like, do we want that?
I'll show you that again. She says, we're going to be showing the house. So do we want that? They expect that I'm looking at them. But I'm not. I'm deflecting as I watch. But they don't show her cleavage at all during this until she says, we're going to be showing the house. Then they suddenly are showing her cleavage right there.
Why don't you guys move in there temporarily? Like what's...
Like we're going to be showing the house.
And she's showing it.
So it's like, do we want that?
Does the viewer want that? I want to show you something interesting related to the last clip I showed you. The guy in that scene on that Kardashian show, I believe, is a cloned version or just some other version of another actor named Cillian Murphy. The guy in that Kardashian's name is Jonathan Cheban, I believe. They're the same guy. You can see here in the picture the similarities in the eyes, the face. The guy at the top is more of a caricature version of the guy, but they have the same voice and everything.
What about the other house? Why don't you guys move in there temporarily? Like...
Amazing exuberance and passion and energy and
I don't know how it works. I don't know how he shows up in the Kardashian show clearly as an inferior physical version of his original self, but it's the same guy. All right, watch these tricks. They're trying to establish who the viewer is. Am I male or female? Okay, right away, sweeping camera movement. They want you to follow it. Then they want you to read this. And you look at that woman's camera, phone. They want you to look at that. That's actually peering through the screen to see the color of the viewer. Maybe not your face exactly, like they can actually see you, but they can get an image of you somehow through that. They want you to look at those things. I'm deflecting as I watch. But right here, they get me. This guy's arm moving up and down, up and down. That's a trick. And there's this bright light shining through. It's a trick. They want to establish who is watching. And when they establish I'm a man and not a woman, listen.
Yeah, no good.
All right, fellas.
Nah, no good. He says it right after that because I am watching and that bright light catches my eye. And they know I'm a man. I'm a lower frequency. No good. Because the lower frequency colors are considered bad. Good is female. It's a woman. It's the higher frequencies. I'm no good because I'm in the lower frequency spectrum. Red, orange, yellow. So once they establish that, listen again.
Yeah, no good.
All right, fellas.
Fellas. Yellow thing in his hand. All right, fellas. And he slaps that yellow thing. That's the symbol of me being in the lower frequency group. Fellas is what I am, a fella. And no good means I'm not a girl. Or a god is what they would consider me, if I was. All right, here's a perfect example of the theme carrying. It's a little odd in between because I start flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between two channels just to fuck with the host of one show because I believed he was saying something negative about me, the viewer. So I decided to fuck with him a little bit because I know it's live. Everything is in real time. It's happening while I watch and they're interacting with me while I'm watching. But watch what happens.
The National Weather Service is tracking a low-pressure system in the Atlantic. A massive storm about to hit off the coast of western France. And when it clears, it's going to cause a giant swell. We're talking once-in-a-decade waves.
Waves.
80 feet plus.
80 feet waves.
Sir.
80-foot waves.
If I'm right, that's where they'll be.
You want to sue too?
No, I turn it.
This con. I mean, he is a con man. I was just quoting there in the monologue some of the things he used to say about what's going to happen with your health care. It's straight out of a con man's textbook, you know.
Now, they're talking about Trump, but I know they're talking about me. Because if you watch my videos, I show you how you can fool these people into thinking you're something you're not. I don't do it for any other purpose other than finding out what their initiative is, how they're planning on using me. Now, I turn it after he calls me a con, because I'm fucking around.
Turn you turn Curly Strimlin into the authorities for the last time.
This is a huckster.
Now I turn it back. Calls me a huckster. I turn it back here. They laugh.
I don't see... Who is that person who is going to step forward and do that? You?
Now I turn it back. I'm just fucking around.
On that old plantation.
Have to do it. And I think that there are people out there who are going to be incredibly disappointed. You know,
Where'd she go?
Look, he's in the water. Look, he's in the water.
and let the suffering wave go out across the country.
Right.
And then
They'll
there'll be a wave back.
The suffering wave go out across the country, and then there'll be a wave back. I showed you how this very first show was talking about a massive wave that was going to sweep across the country of France. Still a country. 80-foot waves. I fuck around with this, they get right back to it. It's within a minute.
And let the suffering wave go out across the country.
Right.
And then
They'll
there'll be a wave back.
It's all connected.